Welcome back to Kicking It with Kenya. And like I said, we still rocking it out with Shay and Louis P on the couch. We have been really getting some episodes in today.
Yes,
and honestly, I am, and after thinking about all of this relationship stuff, I kind of be on Facebook, and every so often they always want to make fun of and this is the type of dudes you girls end up with, and this is the type of dudes you girls come up with. You can have this, but you end up with that. So the question that's always rising is why the nice guy finishes last? The nice guy finishes last. So how do you guys take that phrase?
I don't necessarily believe that. I think that it's all about where you are in life. Okay, we all have ended up with the not so good person because that's just where we were at that time. I think it's all about focusing on you and working on you, and then eventually meeting someone. I don't really like to use that nice guy finishes last. You get what you like. You attract what you like. You attract what you're into. And if you're constantly dating women that mistreat you or women that cheat on you, that's you. You can't turn around and say, well, I'm a nice guy. So why are you
picking,
and vice versa for women? Oh, the guy, the thug that always cheating on me or beating on me. Okay, you have a pattern here of dating these type of people. This is what you like. How about work on you and changing that so that you won't finish last? You eventually will meet somebody.
That's a good perspective, Louis. Oh, God.
No. My stance on this has actually kind of changed. It's kind of evolved, but I agree with everything Shay said. I think a lot of times we don't take responsibility for the type of people we allow to kind of do certain things. Like I said, I've talked to certain girls and been involved with certain girls where they use me. They're only there when it's beneficial for them, or I do certain things for them, and so I had to take a look in the mirror and look at the type of people that I was with, and I had to kind of assess that situation and really take that into account, rather than saying just a generic, all the girls go for this type of dude that treats you wrong, and then da-da-da. Now, it's true in some cases on both instances, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like as you do get older, you do see the sense of maturation when it comes to certain things and certain people where they're looking for more. You know what I'm saying? Like when we were in high school and we're our what we wanted was a little different. Now that we're older and we're looking, it's not about the fly clothes and jewels and all of this. Now we're looking at homes, we're looking at families, we're looking at careers, not jobs. We're looking at so many things that really matter. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people have a better grasp on that. So you do go through those periods where you go for this type because you're attracted to what you're attracted to. But I feel like the maturation comes from the fact that when you understand that what you may be attracted to may not be what's best for you. So you can say, I can say there's plenty of girls I'm attracted to. That doesn't mean that we be best for each other or that they be best for me. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you do go with not necessarily what you that attracted to, but what initially, but what you feel is some substance there. You know what I'm saying? It's like
something deeper.
Yeah, because that's what truly lasts. That's what truly matters. That's what
not just
looks fade. Wherever you're attracted to anyone based off of anything, if it's for their body, girl get pregnant, now they're not look the same. Are you going to leave them because you only like them for their body? You know what I'm saying? If all of that changes. So I feel like as you get older, you realize that when you were dating people based off of things that were subject to change, their financial situation, how they look, their hairstyle, the whatever, and you look for stuff that's deeper. You look for what's truly going to be there for the long haul, because now you're in a better situation, or you're in a situation where you want more, you need more. So it's not as superficial. And sometimes I can't say it's for the best. Like I have female friends that we've never dated, but we're still great friends, and I appreciate them as they've said they appreciate me the same, and we confide in each other when certain things go wrong. Sometimes it is good to have those friends to talk to of the opposite sex to get a better perspective on things, which has helped me come to this because I used to be that type of person.
guy.
I mean, me and you have had this conversation before.
Yeah.
But no, I do see a shift in how a lot of people are and how a lot of people handle certain situations. But I'll also say I feel like the whole nice guy finishes last thing also has to, and this is just me off personal experience, also has to do with the lack of aggression with certain things. And what I mean is like, I was always the type of person that wouldn't want to be too aggressive with something in fear of jeopardizing a friendship or a situation.
Yeah, we did talk
to
about
where
that.
I look back and I say, wow, if I to where I understand them more, that's what they like. They like because it makes them feel wanted more so than just you're just nice to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do feel like as I've grown, I've come to realize a lot of things that, wow, if I would have done this, I could have shown her that I was more interested rather than I'm just being nice, so I'm just
And
nice, so you should like
me.
Yeah.
Do the
Yeah, because the type of guy that they always end up with ends up being that type of guy that was aggressive.
And I think
most
that's
of the
the
time.
difference between like the quote unquote good guy and the quote unquote bad guy. It's like most of the time good guys do kind of like play it back and they be like kind of like passive a little bit and kind of be like, yeah, you know, while like those bad guys, it sucks, but it's like they got cheat code of being smooth. They kind of just swoop in and be on some like, hey, yo, you know, trying to, and it's like, oh, okay. And that's how I guess they keep winning. It's because they seize that opportunity. They seize the moment. They go for it. It might not be a good man, but they just jump at it. They go out the window. And maybe that might be the only gesture you got from them. But in that moment, they swooped you in enough to like feel like I mattered in that moment. Versus like the good guys kind of like, oh, you know, let me just chill. And like, to go off of what you're saying about substance and deeper, I just feel like sometimes like good means good, right? It's not great. It's not fantastic. It's not bad. It's what it is. It's good. And sometimes like, maybe I'm about to say something that'll probably make some men be like, what? Or some girls be like, what? But sometimes it's like women don't want just good. Like, you know, we kind of want a little bit of a little wave here, you know, a little pushback, a little. I don't want to say swag because everybody categorizes swag like we're talking about hood. We're not talking about like the hood men. We just kind of want a little bit of a passion or something. Like sometimes I feel like, and I'm about to say this to you on the phone, when it comes down to good men, it's like nothing feels personalized to the woman. It just feels like insert girl here. You know, it just feels like
that's a good point.
Insert woman here. Like you'll do this for any girl here.
That's a good point.
Like it's like insert one. Like I got a job, check. I got this, check. I got the girl, check. And it's like you're buying me flowers, not because you're buying me flowers, but maybe because that's what you do. And it's like it don't feel personal. Versus like the quote unquote bad guy. When he finds something he likes, it stops him in his tracks, and it feels like, oh, I want her.
But
I don't know.
But a guy that is super aggressive, every woman might stop him in his tracks.
True.
That's the flip side to a man that, you were saying like has swag or is like super duper aggressive. It's like he might be doing that to every woman too.
But think about how good you would feel as a woman if you were the one that he changed for.
See
that's the thing. That like imagine like.
But that gives merit to the whole argument of, well, you feel the good guy is essentially boring. Well, you're a finished product. Where a lot of girls would go for the bad guy because they feel they can change him, and they feel like, oh, I'm the one who he changed for me, so it makes them feel a certain way. When a lot of times that specific guy is just doing what he has to do to get what he wants from you to begin with. And then when he leaves, then it's, oh, niggas ain't shit, blah, 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 and all of that. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword when you say that, because this quote-unquote good guy may not feel like he would just do this for any girl, because he may not approach just any girl. He may do things out of the kindness of his heart, but he may not necessarily approach any girl in order to try to get them. But his intentions are he wants you. His intentions are, I want to be with you because I like you, because I feel like we have something. So when someone has that mentality, as for the good guy as opposed to the bad guy or whatever, a lot of people feel like it's a project. People feel like, well, if you already buy me flowers, you already do this, it's like there's nothing to grow. So it essentially becomes boring to the girl because there's no spice there. I have a theory that a lot of girls, I don't want to say a lot of girls love drama, but it adds a little bit of spice to your relationship. A lot of girls love the whole makeup sex thing, and it's hard to do when it's due. Because for me, I'll just use me as an example. I got in an argument with my ex because I would never get in an argument about anything. That's literally what happened because it was just, you're so calm about certain things and that annoyed her. Yeah. For me, it wasn't me. It's just, well, I'm not trying to do this to annoy, but it's just who I was. But that annoyed her
because you're not showing passion about anything. But
here's what I'm saying. But here's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily that I was not passionate when it came to her. I was not passionate when it came to stupid shit like arguing about certain things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I see your phone? Okay, here. Can I do? Okay, here. So it essentially becomes because there's no drama there. You know what I'm saying? There's no, now if there's a little bit of spice, a little bit of this, because you feel like when you overcome that, you feel like you've earned something. It's the equivalent. It's equivalent to when you work your ass off and buy your car, as opposed to when someone gives it to you. It's still a car, but it's the difference in how you feel when you have the car. Mm-hmm. You feel like it's earned when you had to scratch and claw to make it work, as opposed to when it was just given to you perfect.
Nobody wants to be in a relationship where you don't argue. That's how I feel.
That's weird to me. Honestly, that's kind of weird.
Let me break that down, though.
Okay.
It's all about how you argue.
Right.
We're not talking about fighting, physically fighting, or yelling at each other.
Talking about bitches and
but you can't agree on everything. That's not normal.
There's no pushback.
We're two different personalities coming together to create one and a solid foundation. We're not going to agree on everything. Now, if you're always calm, nothing against the way you were. If you're always calm and you don't have you're not speaking your opinion, or you know what I mean, you're not really telling her how you feel. That's a problem, because you could be really a whole lot of feelings, and then when it's going to come out, you just going to knock the girl over the head.
See, and that's something that I will say I had to learn, because I was the type of person that in my first relationship, I felt that I had to, even if I disagreed with something, I wouldn't say it. I would want to make her happy. So I would, okay, whatever you want, babe. And that was eventually something that grew to well, what do you like? For me,
I don't know you.
It was my first relationship. So it wasn't me. I was new to this, but it was things that I learned. So over time, these things that I learned. And I do agree. Arguing is healthy. Debating is healthy. You know what I mean? It's differing opinions is healthy. It can help lead to differing perspectives and learning certain things. You know what I mean? I wasn't the same in my next relationship that I was in my first one, because I was new to that. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand certain things. And it was certain things about me personally that back then I had a lot of issues personally. I had a lot of insecurities. I had a lot of things where I just wasn't confident in certain things. So my whole vibe and mode was very relaxed, very calm. I wasn't 15 years ago before I did music, this wouldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? Because I had stage fright. I had this. Even when people know me outside of that, people are so shocked. You rap, you do this, you're that. The quiet kid, because that's how I was always looked at. The quiet kid that just be chilling. And then people meet me and they talk to me and they be like, oh yeah, he's very talkative because you know me. But I had to let some of that out when it came to other things, especially in a relationship. And it is healthy. It is definitely something that is healthy, because you do want to give those layers. You want to peel back those layers. Sometimes when those layers are on, it's hard to really build a lot of things. There's a lot of TV shows that have that, like the episode of The Fresh Prince where he gets the perfect wife and he's like, I want a dirty house. I want this. I want, oh my God, because it's just too perfect. Right. There's no drama there. Drama does create an environment to where you feel like it's real. Right. Where sometimes if certain things are just going too well,
it just doesn't feel right. Mm-hmm. And then I guess I'm gonna say another thing that might push down a little more. Sometimes when it comes down to quote unquote good guy, I dated a guy. It was fine. It was good. It was good. And in that moment, I saw that if I stayed in this, I would be married with kids, and my life is done. like, because it was good, you know? And it's like, sometimes, and I was young, but it's like, but I also don't feel like that's that's a problem. But I also feel like sometimes just to know it's already mapped out for you isn't good. Like, I just felt like it was done. If I stayed, it was done. It was done. I pack it up.
I wasn't ready.
And I was not ready for that. And it's just like, and it's like, I know people be like, but isn't that the end goal in a relationship? You're supposed to want to get married and stuff like that. Yes, but I also didn't feel like, because I didn't feel like there was no growth. Like, there was nothing a milestone or how we got there. Like, if I was to say like a speech or like do a vow, I would just be singing like, we met and it went well.
But you know what is a good parallel example to what you're saying? The movie Temptation, the Tyler Perry movie.
And this is why
but that's what I'm saying.
You know,
that's what I'm saying. So because when you have something that's just so like,
cookie cutter,
it's, like you said, it's good and it's cookie cutter, it becomes redundant and it becomes very like
boring,
day in day out, same
and
thing. So it's nothing like different. But that's what I'm saying. That's why it comes. This is why it comes into the little spice, because drama does add spice, and it doesn't have to be drama. It can be other things that show passion. It can be switching it up, you know. Yes, being spontaneous. That's another big thing. To where a lot of people just are routine. You know what I'm saying? So when you're routine, that becomes boring. If you do the same thing every single day, you'll get bored of it. If you're around something or something, you'll get bored. It just is what it is. You get used to it. That's what I should say.
Being a good guy doesn't equate to being boring.
But sometimes
there are good guys that have dope personalities. But then sometimes too, you don't want to go into a relationship thinking, I'm going to change him, like dating a bad boy and I'm going to change him. You don't ever go into a relationship thinking you are going to change a man. That is what my mom told me. Like, how you get the person is how they're going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now.
Just assume
it's like, take it or leave
it.
it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people might compromise certain things, but sometimes they're absolutely not going to compromise. But being the good guy doesn't mean that you're boring. And sometimes it might take a really, really good guy to meet a girl to bring certain things out of him or introduce him to certain things. You got to be open to that.
That's a good one.
You know what I mean? Sometimes good guys, they're not spontaneous, but you'll sit down and talk to him because he wants to make you happy. Can we spice things up? And it's like, okay, I'm going to start doing that. And once he does it, it's like, okay, I like this. So it's certain things that you can get a good guy to come out of his shell. You know, to really try new things. That doesn't mean that you're changing him. You're just doing things to really work on bettering the relationship.